Welcome to the Throttle Up Leadership Podcast. Our theme for 2025 is the future of work. Meaning is the new money. In a world shaped by rapid innovation and constant change, the pursuit of purpose and impact has never been more important. I'm Dr. John Dentico, your host, bringing over 30 years of experience in leadership, strategic thinking, and purpose-driven innovation. Here, we tackle the pressing challenges of our time, from the rise of artificial intelligence to the growing need for meaning in the workplace. Together, we'll uncover how leaders can ethically integrate AI to enhance decision-making and keep humanity at the heart of their organizations. Remember, amidst all the technological advancements, in the end, it's always about the people. This podcast is your resource for actionable tools, thought-provoking discussions, and inspiring stories. It's time to go beyond leadership development and focus on leadership impact, creating workplaces where people thrive, innovation flourishes, and meaning truly becomes the new currency. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now, let's throttle up and dive into today's episode. Hello again and welcome to the Throttle Up Leadership Podcast. This is your host, Dr. John Dentico. With me today is Kayshree Govender, an entrepreneur, youth empowerment advocate, and the founder of Dreamers and Founders, a global movement helping kids aged 8 to 18 build real businesses, develop powerful mindsets, and take charge of their futures. With over 15 years of experience in entrepreneurship and financial advisory, Kayshree brings a bold vision for education, one that replaces screen time with CEO time. Her purpose-driven programs inspire resilience, creativity, and confidence in young people while giving parents and educators the tools to help them thrive. Whether she's hosting transformational experiences or collaborating with families and schools around the world, Kayshree's work empowers the next generation to lead, earn, and innovate before they even graduate. And I am so happy that she is joining me here today from South Africa, and I want to welcome you. It's a pleasure to have you with me today, Kayshree. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You are most welcome. So I'd like to start with my personal question, and that is, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where did you grow up? And what were some of the fundamental influences in your early life?
So I
Okay.
grew up in a small town called Nelspruit, and it was my mom, my dad, my two brothers, and that was our from preschool to matric, and we grew up that way. Whilst being in school, my mom was the big influence. She was very entrepreneurial like, and she helped me start my own dance school. That's where it all started. I started at 10 years old. I had my own dance school. I used to teach all of the community kids dancing. We used to put productions on show, and we went about representing South Africa all around the world. We won several awards, and it was absolutely amazing. And from there, I went on, I studied further. I wanted to do film and television, and I'm more so video editing. I studied at the University of Pretoria, and then I got a bursary to go to India. I studied there, and when I came back, my dad said to me that if I don't get a job, I would need to do something in finance. And I was like, oh my God, I need to find a job. Can somebody help me find a job? And it was so difficult because you're fresh out of varsity, and I was like, I'm a really short person, so I look like a kid, and nobody took me seriously. They were like, "You don't have any experience. What are you going to do here?" And I remember this as if it was yesterday. I approached one of the largest insurance firms that only deals with professionals and asked them for an opportunity. The panel of interviewers said to me, "You got to sell me this pen." I was like, "I don't know how to sell a pen." So I asked them, what are you using the pen for? And eventually, somehow, I got to sell this pen. And they came back to me and they said, we didn't think you would actually be able to do that, but you sold it quite well. I was like, really? I didn't know that was even going to happen. I thought I did a terrible job. They said, we're willing to give you a try because you came here with such enthusiasm and drive, and you seem like a person that would be very teachable. And I was like, yeah, definitely, bring it on. I would take on the challenge. And I put my heart and soul into it. I worked late night hours because it was an industry that I knew nothing about, but I was ready to learn everything. Within 3 months, I was one of the top people in the newbie group. So, yeah, that's how my journey started.
How interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the ability to take a challenge and turn it around. My theme this year is higher for values, higher for heart. People who've been through difficult times, challenges, whether it's been a terrible upbringing or other trials and tribulations, those folks know how to get through stuff. They know how to do something. So always look for people who have demonstrated a great heart. Let me ask you this question. You founded Dreamers and Founders to help kids build real businesses before they finish school. What sparked that idea and why now?
I would rather say, why not now? Because
Okay.
now's the best time for kids to come out and do something with their lives. Just like me, for example, you've studied, you come fresh out of varsity, you're like, wow, got my degree, I'm ready to make money. And then boom, it slaps you in the face that there's no jobs. And what are you going to do? So I started Dreamers and Founders based on the relationship I had with my son, because I was going through a difficult time in my life, trying to deal with that and trying to have a little boy that was so engrossed in an iPad. And I didn't know what to do, how to get him off it. And the one trait that my mom taught me was resilience and how to get up and use ideas to find a problem and more so find the solution to that problem. I've had several successful businesses prior to my marriage and prior to my divorce. You kind of give it all and take for granted that everything's going to just be there. Like everything else, it constantly needs work, it constantly needs your attention. And the moment you drop that ball, it's like, okay, things change because the world that we're living in is ever changing. There's something new every single day. If your business is not evolving, then that's a problem in itself. When my son came to me, I lost it because I was in more than $30,000 in debt. And through the divorce, I just lost everything. He comes to me and he's like, Mom, I really want this app. I said to him, son, today we don't have money for this app. But I'm going to give you something better and something we both are going to do and we both are going to enjoy. It hit me then to say, look, I keep giving this child an iPad, but how is that empowering him to be a better person later on in his life? He's constantly got this need to say, my mom needs to give me this. She needs to, she has to. And I said, no, I'm no longer giving you anything. Whatever you want from today, you're going to work for it. Because that's what my mom did with us. It was constantly, you've got to work for what you want. And that taught us how to be resilient. It taught us how to bounce back in any situation. And more so, it taught you to be street smart. Today's kids don't know the meaning of that. Any problem they have, mom and dad will solve it. And I think as parents, you think you are shielding your child and you think you're protecting them and you're doing wonders for them. But in actual fact, you are not. You're actually harming them. You're hindering their growth. I sat him down and said to him, son, what do you like? He's a child that loved baking. So biscuits, chocolate chip cookies was his thing. And thank God I knew how to bake. We were teaching him and we baked and we came up with this idea at the back of a cereal box with crayons. And we drew it, we drew different name ideas, and he loved it. It dawned on me, just imagine if I am feeling this way about my child. How many other parents are out there? How many other children are out there? everywhere you go to a restaurant, kids are on their phone constantly, not even talking to parents. You go to parties. I mean, we had family over and all the kids are in the same room talking to each other on their cell phone. So I said, you know what? Enough is enough. If I can prove to do this, like that would be my number one mission. And to be honest with you, that gave me the drive to get out of my depression and out of my grief because I was dealing with my mom's death. It was just insane. But when you're filled with a new passion and a new vision, something that you can impact, leave a lasting impact, that for me was my end. It wasn't about the money, it was about something that gave me a purpose, something that I could make a difference. There's nothing better or more satisfying than seeing a child come up with a business and so proud and they have the confidence, because honestly, I feel that kids are born with an entrepreneurial spirit. As you grow as an adult, you sort of like, oh, but you know what? People are looking at me. I can't do this. I can't do that. No. Then we start building limitation beliefs around ourselves, whereas kids don't have that. There's no filter with them. So that's where Dreamers
Yeah.
and Founders actually started.
What a great story. Out of the trials and tribulations, you emerged stronger and better. I always say that the greatest antidote to depression is control. You're taking control of your life, saying, I don't have to be this way. I don't have to do that. I'm going to do something more than just sit around and feel sorry for myself. It's all about having a level of control. Have, as you said, purpose, so big today. Purpose, meaning. Meaning to me is the greatest motivation force on the planet. I absolutely agree with you. Here's my take on this. We are in a world now with rapid AI development and the aftermath of COVID where we're now entering an entrepreneurial world. It's either going to be entrepreneurial, or if you're inside a company, they call it intrapreneurial. Working inside the company, but with an entrepreneurial spirit. I absolutely understand, and I think that's absolutely spectacular. Giving these kids the opportunity to see that they can take control of their lives. They can do something with it. They can find meaning and purpose early in life, not after you've been through terrible tragedies or divorces or loss of loved ones, and you come to this point in your life and have a midlife and go, oh, maybe I should think more about this than I used to. Yeah, starting them young, man, that's just the greatest. So I applaud you, and I appreciate very much the effort you're putting into that. Let me ask you, you talk about turning screen time into CEO time. What does that transformation actually look like in a real child's day or routine?
So we say that kids spend on average at least 4 to 5 hours on a phone, on a tablet, whether it be on TikTok, YouTube, TV games, PlayStation. If they take 1 hour just to put towards building a business, 1 hour a day, we turn them into a CEO before they know it.
Interesting. But here's the thing, the question in my mind would be, for them to go along that path, to go through an entrepreneurial path and on their way to being a CEO, won't they be using tools like an iPhone or a computer to do that as well? So aren't they, is it that you're shifting their attention? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yep. So we're shifting their attention to put it to use. We equipping them with tools to better use it and not just fill their mind with games. For example, if there are gamers, use that in such a way that you can monopolize and monetize that skill. We're not entirely taking you away from what you enjoy, but if you are great at something, use that to teach somebody that skill, because you can empower 10 other children and use that. We teach them how to develop and ignite that confidence and purpose that God has given each and every one of us. We all have a purpose placed on this planet to do something. So why not start at a young age?
I agree. So here's a question. What about things like the children together, creating teams and working in collaboration with one another? Do you foster that as well?
We got something called a founder circle, whereby we get kids in the group. It's a community group, it's well structured, and it's kids all over the world with different levels of their problems. But they all understand each other, they communicate well with each other. In today's world, kids go through so much. And it's important that, we understand where they're coming from, but also guide them and give them the right direction to follow. We don't want to take away who they really are, but we want to mold them, grow them, and show them how to develop themselves.
Interesting. Do
So,
you
yeah.
also teach them about risk? So for example, as a business owner, there may be certain risks that you have to accept. And because what comes to mind immediately is perhaps too often we teach children to avoid risk at all costs, right? Don't, oh, get that away from me. I don't want any risk. We're completely risk averse. Yet, to be an entrepreneur, you have to
You
accept
need
risk.
it.
You have to accept doubt and ambiguity. I would love to get your reflection on that.
Yes, 100%. We teach them from the youngest to the oldest in a safe environment so that they are shielded a bit, because we don't want to give them too much, and then we don't want to take a child and destroy their mindset and what they believe in. If guided with the right structures, again, it plays a very important role in their upbringing. It plays a very important role in their confidence for future, whether it be in their schooling life, in relationships, whatever they might choose to go ahead for, in their future endeavors. So, yes,
Well,
risk is there, and we teach them, we guide them, and we have something called failing forward to success. We teach them lessons that it's okay. Success is not measured by you saying, if I didn't hit this target today, it does not mean you are not amazing. It just means you get up and you try again.
and that is so very important. People I know, myself included, had to learn that because you failed, it doesn't make you a failure. It just means that whatever happened didn't work out. Go back to the drawing board and figure out how best you can redo this or try some other way. And I think enabling young children to experience that at such a young age, as we're accelerating, as I like to think, into this world of rapid prototyping, of piloting programs, of entrepreneurial spirit, is just, it's remarkable. And I think it's absolutely breathtaking from my perspective. It'd be interesting to find out if there's anything like that in America right now. I don't know the answer to that question. But again, you're trying to create, correct me if I'm wrong here, sort of a worldwide movement with what you're doing. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we have it already in 7 countries, and we are expanding every day. So we hosting masterclasses whereby we do give kids opportunities to have free access to the course, and we give individual attention as well.
And do you have in those different countries, can you give me an example of some countries?
So we in the US, in the UK, in the UAE, in Germany, in Australia. So,
Great.
yeah.
Do you have local coaches in those areas working with the children? I'm just curious.
So for now, we do only on a digital platform, whereby we do have local team members that work for us and have partnered with us to just, for example, sometimes with an accent or a different language barrier. So we do have people to support the kids in the best way that they would be comfortable. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is an interesting question because of some of the leadership work and the people that I've talked to from around the world. I've had people from all over the world, like you and folks in India, the UK, Australia, Germany, and Romania. This is a particular curiosity to me, but reflecting the kids' perspective, if you will. You work with children, families, and schools around the world. We've got that established. Have you seen any patterns or differences across culture when it comes to nurturing young leaders?
Definitely. Some of the parents you would see, and these are kids that come from entrepreneurial families. So you would see that drive, that competition, it's already instilled in them. However, it does come down to whether a parent is completely busy with their lifestyle. You see it through the child. And so we can pick up on that quickly. But ultimately, what comes across is that parents love their kids, but some, don't know how to love their kids the way the kids want to be loved. There's a difference in showing up. For example, my style of showing up to my son would be teaching him something, equipping him with something, leaving legacy, whereas his way of accepting it would be, Mom, I just want to be hugged and cuddled. I was brought up with tough love. Do I be a similar parent to how I was brought up? So that in itself, it's, we've got to watch out for that. And I think this is what parents love our cause, because we notice this immediately and have that conversation with parents. We have groups of children's psychologists in our community, and they're amazing with the kids, with the parents. So it's a win-win situation for every one of them. And yeah, it just helps them build a stronger bond to sit at the dinner table and have a relationship and a conversation. Most parents, to be honest, in today's day and age, are struggling just to have a conversation with their child. A lot of them come in, they say, Kayshree, I don't know how you're going to get through to my child. It's always lock the door, get out, Mom. I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. We see them when they need to eat and we don't see them again. I'm just really in awe of what our team has done and is continuing doing with them. And when you get amazing stories from parents saying, I don't know, the moment my child got involved, it's a different child. I don't know what you've done to my child, but
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
all
think
about
that for
purpose.
me is priceless.
So, many parents want to raise confident, capable kids, but aren't sure where to start. This is more on the parental side. What's one mindset shift you recommend to help children grow into leaders? That may also be the mindset of a child as well. Take it where you want it to go.
Definitely with the mindset, I think it first starts with you being confident as a parent. Your child will take a behavior from a parent and they won't listen to what you say, but they will watch what you do. Based on that, that's how a child would act. So, as a parent, the mindset shift you need to have is to believe in your child. Show them, even if you don't believe for the time being in you, my child isn't about business, my child isn't entrepreneurial. That's okay. They don't need to see that. But in front of them, make them believe that they are the best child on the planet and they're destined for greatness, because every child is. They all have their own spark, and it's just for a parent to ignite that. Having said that, is change the mindset as a parent, make sure that the child believes in themselves, instill 100 times of confidence in them, because it's so important that they get that. And number two, it's the mind shift from parents to believe, where they come from and where money is bad and where business is terrible. Change that, because with a click, just changing it a little bit, that child can soar to the limits that you never even imagined. And that is so important to change that.
Very interesting. So we're getting close to the end here in the podcast. I'd like to ask you one last question, and you can take it where you want. If you could change one thing about how we prepare the next generation for the future of work, what would it be? And what's stopping us from doing it today?
For the first, I'm going to say people think because AI and technology is out there, oh, you know what, my child doesn't need to do X, Y, and Z. In our program, we teach children how to use AI to their advantage and actually get things done. Because it's so important to make sure that a child understands, adapts to technology, and uses it to build themselves and to build a better solution. Because AI is here to help you. It does not need to just be, oh, you know what, AI is only stealing our jobs and it's only going to do this. There are so many other opportunities for children, for families to literally use the AI, half their process, and do something with more impact, number one, and just allows them an opportunity to spend time with their family, build a legacy. Because it's not like 20 years ago where our families were so stressed with business. You put in your time and energy, and you don't really get time with to spend with the family. So
Yeah.
AI has come in, it can help you. It can literally half the process time for you so you can spend the time wisely with your family. And I think the most important thing is for parents to allow their children to explore life, allow them the opportunity to look at problems and provoke different questions to ignite their imagination and creativity to come up with a solution. And, reward them with that. Just say, give them $10 or something. Because creating that kind of mindset and behavior within a household already sparks a child and allows that child that opportunity to say, look, I could solve X, Y, and Z problems. Those are the next generation attributes we need in today's life. Children today are not looking at becoming the next problem solvers. They're looking at being the next best influencer, the next TikToker. And what is that going to leave us with? Because if all our parents pass away, what are we left with? They must not shy away from laborer work. With all these AIs and new technology, who's going to be our painter? Who's going to be our plumber? And that is going to 10x the amount you could pay for a service. That child could be a multi-billionaire because of a job you didn't want the child to explore.
Yeah,
So
very
that's
interesting. There's a big movement in the United States right now for what we call trade jobs: plumbers, carpenters, electricians, those kinds of jobs which pay incredibly well. But here's the thing, and this goes right to what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you have to be a plumber your entire life. You could own a plumbing business and
correct.
have other people. There are people who love to fix stuff. I'm one of them. I'm a DIY, do it yourself guy. I've been doing it for decades. I love fixing stuff. You have to understand that there are people who love to do that, and there are people who want to be the entrepreneurs and the business leaders, and that's fine. The other thing I would say is let the children try something and fail. Let them fail and say, okay, that didn't work. It's not over. Stand up. Let's go. Let's try something different. How would you change that? What was the causation for the failure? Why do you feel like you failed? Maybe a child succeeded and feels like a failure because they didn't succeed to the level that they thought they would. But yet they did accomplish several things. And I think that's so important because life will teach you hard lessons. Life will get in your face, show up at your doorstep, and kick your butt.
Yes.
Unannounced, it just shows up and does it. So you have to be able to get through that. You have to be able to understand how this is a temporary issue and that you can move through it, move past it. So I truly understand it. And I can't thank you enough for being here. What you're doing is absolutely spectacular, in my opinion. And I think it's sorely needed around the world today to teach children you're not victims. You are controllers of your life if you choose to step into it and step up. And I think that that's really, really important. So my hat's off to you, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for being here on the podcast today. It's been wonderful. You give me great hope. I wish you all the success, good health to you and your son. Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks again so much.
Thank you.